So I don't know about you, but I think about this a lot. And I think because of the state of the world right now, which depending on what lens you're looking through, it's either going to look crazy, chaotic, and like shit's flying everywhere and it's a bad thing, or crazy and chaotic and we're rebirthing into something exciting and new and it's a good thing. And depending on where you're at, or maybe even just any given day or any given moment, you will feel into that and you'll perceive it how you perceive it in that moment, obviously. And what I think about a lot is that saying, where focus goes, energy flows. And I think about what it is that we're creating and what it is that we want to create. And I always come back to how powerful we are and how what we do focus on is where our energy flows. And then I think about the layers and the nuance and the different places in that as well too, because in order for us to create a new world and to step into that, we need to believe and know that it is possible and that we are creating that. And at the same time, we need to know what's been going on in the world and what we're sort of walking away from and stepping into the new. So it's that fine balance of trying to find a place of sort of equilibrium, if I could say it, and finding that place and standing in our truth, our knowing, and our power, and understanding that everything is happening on many different layers. And in order for us to create what it is that we truly want to create for ourselves and the world at large, then it's up to us to create that. And I'm sure that, you and I both know that when we're tuning into things that are lowering our frequency and holding our vibration in a vibration of fear or in worry and stress and all that sort of stuff, we're not in that creative play state. We're not able to imagine how good it can be when we're trapped in that frequency of fear and not knowing and unease. So in order for us to be able to sort of transcend that and create what we want to create, we do need to know what is there and what has existed in the past, but where we're heading and how good and how amazing that could look as well. And so in order for us to do that, we can't bypass the shit either. Like, we can't bypass it. There's crap that's going on and there's stuff that needs to change. And it's finding that balance of like, where do we focus our attention? Where do we focus on so that we can create more of what it is that we want to see? And if we're always up against and fighting and pushing against something in order for it to change, fighting fire with fire, so to speak, is it going to change? And that's not to say to ignore it, because I'm definitely never one to advocate for that, because there are things that go on that need to shift and need to change, that need to have the light shone on it in order for it to change. And so it's coming to that place of going, okay, well, how can I do my part to create what it is that I want to create, what I want to see in the world? What can I do? And so if there is something that is close to your heart and that is there for you, that you want to stand up for and that you believe in and that you want to fight for in a way, then by all means do that. In the same breath, can you also envisage what it is that you do want to create as well? So if we're only focusing on what's shit and what's wrong and what's crap, we're not able to create and embody what is good, what is exciting, what is amazing. And so it's the paradox of it all too, because obviously there's a flip side to everything, and it's being able to observe all parts of the whole and then being able to go, okay, well, where do I want to focus my attention on so I can create more of that? I mean, you think of a lot of the movies and the things that are out there and the shows and the news and all that sort of stuff. It really focuses heavily on all the shitty stuff that's going on, all the stuff that could go wrong. And so our brains become wired to go, oh, I really want to create this, but that can't possibly happen because this, and this. Or I really want to do this thing, but something might go wrong. Instead of going to that place of, okay, what could go right? How good could this get? How good could this actually be? And being able to step into that place, because I think so many of us, and to no fault of our own, it's the conditioning, it's what we've been brought up with, but we automatically go to that place of, well, what if something goes wrong? What if something doesn't work out? Instead of our default being what could go right, or how good could this get? Our default is the other. And so part of us wanting to create something new and stepping into what it is that we want to see for humanity, that we want to see for ourselves, for our children, for all the people on the planet, thriving, the animals, all of that thriving, we want to look at, well, how good can it get? How good can this look? And be able to embody and visualize and feel into it, and just daydream about it, and just bring it to life that way. Because we can so easily go to, easily imagine, use our imagination to create the shitty what if scenarios, when we could be using our imagination and our power to create the amazing what if this great thing happens. And so I think about this a lot, and it really is true, because where your focus goes, your energy does flow. And so it's also like I said at the start, it's the nuance and the layers as well. I think I said at the start, if not, I was thinking it. But there's so many layers, because obviously in order for us to create new, we need to let go of what is no longer serving us and acknowledge it and feel it. You know, the saying, you've got to feel it to heal it. And then when you do that, when you let that go, literally, you let that go and you step into a new frequency, you embody a new frequency, and you're no longer held back by those limiting beliefs, those old stories and those old ways of thinking. And that's why I'm so passionate about reprogramming our subconscious mind, because it's reshaping what we've always used to think, or how we used to learn how to survive. And so now we're shifting it to what if scenarios that are of what it is that we do desire, we do want to create, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to pop in today, because that's been something I think about a lot, because, you know, there is a place for everything. There is. And we live in a realm of infinite possibility. So everything is possible. So when we look at the collective and a collective scale, where we're seeing humanity heading is where the bulk of the energy is flowing. And so it comes down to us going, okay, well, how do I want to play my part? How do I want to show up? And how do I want to bring in the new? And what does it look like? And what does it look like for me? What does bringing in the new look like for me? And how can I focus more on that? And that's not saying bypassing or letting or just putting your head in the sand about other things, but it's taking responsibility for where you're at and what you can do yourself, because that's all we can literally do. We don't have control over other people. We have control over how we show up and how we respond and how we want to create and make our lives in the world. So yeah, that is what I have on my heart today. That's what I felt like sharing. I would love to hear from you on this. Do you think about this? Do you ponder this as well and think about, okay, so what am I focusing my energy on? Where am I spending the bulk of my time? How is that making me feel? And is that helping me or expanding me to be more of who I want to be? Or is it restricting where I'm at? Or is it exactly what you need right now? And that's the thing. There's no rules. There's no right or wrong. It's just, it is what it is in that moment for you. And then it's up to us, to you and I, to go, okay, here's where I'm at, and here's where I want to be focusing my energy from here. So yeah, would love to hear your thoughts on this one. So please share away in the comments. I always love hearing from you. And if you want to stick around, I will pop another video on screen now. And if you are interested in working together, by the way, Time to Fly 2.0 is now open for applications. So pop that, I should say, in the description as well. And if you're not part of my newsletter just yet, I will pop that in there too. So like I said, I'll pop another video on screen now if you want to stick around. And as always, thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to catching you in another video soon.